Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Stationeers. In today's episode I would like to establish a system so that I can use my gases in order to cook up the exotic ingots. Now this is probably not going to be the easiest of tasks. I heard it is quite finicky, but basically we want to use this furnace input and we want to use oxygen plus nitrogen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a gas mixer in order to get a 75 versus 25% mixture, and we want to get a certain pressure into the furnace in order to cook up the various ingots. Now, first things first, we probably need to fill up our nitrogen. At the moment, this is very low. Let me actually enable the system very briefly. I want to see if something happens. Yeah, it looks as though we are still storing the nitrogen in the canister. So as long as I don't get about 10k pressure, we're not going to fill up the nitrogen in the gas tank. So maybe the first thing we need is a way to get rid of the volatiles and oxides here, so I can get some more gases out of them. Anyways, let's also get rid of these volatiles. I'm just gonna input them here. I think, yeah, we shouldn't be too high with the pressure. But still, what we can do is simply enable this guy right there, and we're gonna get rid of it. No, actually that's the wrong one. We want to open up this valve. Maybe we should actually add the volume pump right here, because there's no reason I shouldn't connect up these two, right? Ah, there we go. We're finally gaining some nitrogen. That's what I like to see. Oh man, I fear we're gonna have to do some more digging. Oh, did I run out? Oh, what happened? Oh no, my air tank is empty. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Where did I have my oxygen? Right there. Okay. Whew. Holy cow. That was a little bit scary. Alright, let's enable our beacon right there, and I guess we're just gonna dig for some oxide, mainly. We should get plenty of nitrogen from that. Oh man, this is so weird. Ever since they changed the terrain generation or so, I got all of these terrain glitches. Alright, there we go. I got a couple of stacks in the joint. It should be enough to get us started, hopefully. Let me go ahead and get that in my hand. Beautiful. It doesn't melt away, which is exactly what I wanted to see. And we're just gonna input that in our furnace and therefore in our system. You can already see it is filling up the nitrogen as well. Of course, it's going to fill up the oxygen even more, so we might want to keep that in consideration. Well, we're still good with the pressure here. Yeah, let's just put our ingots right here for the time being. We're also going to need to recycle a couple of them. Let's see, right here. Yeah, I got all of the reagent mix. So let's enable the system right there, and hopefully we get our ore back. Oh no! Oh, Jesus. Did I just do that? I just don't believe it. I just don't believe. Why didn't I? Why didn't I save? Yeah, I think it's more work to get the arm. I just smelted up. Oh man, I'm gonna have to reload my previous save game. This is the freaking last time I put my belt into something. All right, guys, I'm gonna be right back once I grabbed some more oxides. Alright guys, I am back and I think I found even more than before, which is great. So let's input that into our furnace system again. We need to enable the valve, which is enabled, so everything's fine. Okay, so it doesn't look like we quite have enough of this stuff. I mean, the pressure with the oxygen is much higher. I think I need to go for another mining trip. However, we might be able to already set a few things up. Let's think about what we need. We're gonna need the oxygen and we're gonna need a gas mixer, which is probably gonna end up right here together with the nitrogen. Then we want to go ahead and hook this up to the input, but in between we need a volume pump probably, and also a pressure regulator. No, let me think. I think the volume pump can go directly into the furnace, so that means we need to have access to the volume pump so that I can measure exactly how much pressure we have. I would open up the volume pump for a certain amount of time and then close it again as soon as I have enough pressure, and then we can hit the activate button. Maybe after the gas mixer we could also have a pipe analyzer so we can always have a certain amount of pressure in there. I think that is actually a good idea. Okay, let's go ahead and already order a couple of things here with the fabricator. We're gonna need to scroll down to pipe. There we go. Let's build a pipe analyzer. Yeah, I want that. I want to test it out. We're also gonna build a volume pump right there, and we're gonna need a gas mixer, though I could still have gas mixers here. Yeah, pipe gas mixer right there. Beautiful. Let me see. Pipe analyzer. That's something interesting. We never used that before. Okay, I guess for now that is good enough. Let's plan stuff out here. Where would we have to attach this? This is the filtration waste. That's not what I want. I'm not sure what is what anymore. This is the output here. Okay, so that's probably what I want. That's gonna be a slight issue with the piping, I have to admit. It's gonna be easier right here. I just have to take this corner apart and make a three-way junction. So maybe let's start with that. Three-way junction right there, and we bring the nitrogen to where we need it. Pipe gas mixer, let me see. This is actually perfect. We can hook it up directly to this cable. Oh my gosh, this adds up perfectly. Oh, there's a third-person perspective. I never realized. It's probably something new here. Anyways, this is our input 1 or 2. Gas mixer input 2. Okay. The nitrogen, I think, needs to be at 25%. So input 2, let me see. 25 versus 75%. Okay, that already adds up. Now let's bring the pipes back to the oxygen. I'm gonna have to do some trickery here. So it's basically just this cable. We could go underground, but I don't like the idea. We could just take the cable and hook it up right here instead. This is a normal junction right here. Let me make this into a four-way junction, I guess. Yeah. And now we're just gonna hook it up like that, basically. That means I can take away this cable, and right here we're also gonna fix that to make it look nicer. And all of our problems are fixed now, I believe. All we have to do is grab this pipe, make it into a junction right there, and continue on our merry way. Alright, my two pipes are hooked up. We only need a mechanism to automatically turn this on and off. Basically, what I want, after the gas mixer is below a certain point, then I want to enable the gas mixer so we get in more of the stuff. I don't want to turn it on permanently, otherwise we're gonna have too much of it. So let me actually properly hook this one up. Right there, perfect. So next we would continue along the lines. These are all pipes we are not gonna see, but as of this point we might want to actually go up, yeah. So this is not gonna look perfect, but still gonna serve its purpose. Next we're gonna need the pipe analyzer, and this one of course also has a port for the power. And that is pretty bad, but what we could do is turn this guy around here. Yeah, I think I didn't place this very well. We could have it just like that, for instance, and we save a lot of space and pipes. This would allow me to place the pipe analyzer right there on top of the pipe behind the gas mixer. So all we have to do is fix this one more time to be a four-way junction. Okay, let's actually turn this guy on. What can we see here? Nothing. Well, that does make sense, doesn't it? If we turn on the gas mixer for just a little bit, then we can see, yeah, there we go. Everything is going into the furnace. However, I do want more control over this, and this is where the volume pump is gonna come in. At the moment, of course, we're losing the pressure immediately again because I didn't disable the valve here. So let's see, where would we want to set up the volume pump? Actually, very nearby the furnace would be perfect, but I don't think I can place it here. Okay, to be honest guys, we might actually want to come from this side. We could do something like that, which would also allow us to enable the pump from inside, which is what I need. Yeah, I actually like that idea. Let's do it like that. This even allows us to hide everything perfectly in the walls. I forgot about the power and data input. Jeez. Let's make a little loop-de-loop with this system here. Something like that. This is gonna allow us to hook it up straight to our cable. Now, of course, we also need a way to actually analyze this data. What I want to achieve is if the analyzer here has a pressure lower than, let's say, 5K, for instance, or 8K. Then I want to enable the gas mixer, and as soon as we reach the 8K, I want to disable the gas mixer. So we always have a certain pressure in these pipes, and after that I can enable the volume pump at a very low volume. So we're gonna bring this all the way down to 1 liter volume per whatever second or so. And that is going to input that directly into the furnace, and if we have our valve closed right here, we can get a certain pressure, and then hopefully that's going to be what we need. We will have to play around with it, I guess. So I'm going to need to read the analyzer data, I'm going to need to compare it to a number, and I also need to write the stuff to the gas mixer. to the crafting station. Let's start with logic I/O. I'm gonna need 2 of you. Then I'm gonna need a comparison unit, which is a processor right there. I'm also gonna need a memory. Okay, let's do this right here. Actually, what I want to start with is a reader. Why do I have low pressure? She just said low pressure. What are you talking about? Anyways, we place our reader, let's see, we could do it so that we can place another unit here. Yeah, let's place the reader right there. And then we're gonna have our logic writer right here. We're gonna have the math processing unit right there. And last but not least, I got my memory unit. Come on, stupid controls. So that's basically all I need, but I also need to see. So let's free this up. First things first, of course, we need to connect it to our system. And there we go. I think we got it. No, actually, I forgot the left slot right there. Let's hook it up through this wire. Okay, time to set stuff up. We're gonna read, first of all, we're gonna read from the pipe analyzer display. Pipe analyzer, there we go, and the variable we want to read is pressure. Yeah, pressure. So let's enable that, and we can see current pressure is really low, and it's going down actually. Yeah, I still feel we also need a volume pump right here in order to get this out quicker. Let's fix this right away. I'm just gonna disable the volume pump right here, and we're gonna place it over there instead. Et voila, already fixed. The volume here is at 50 liters. So let's actually see. We still have a little bit of pressure in here, but if I enable this, then hopefully we can get rid of it much quicker. Actually, yeah, the valve is open. Yeah, there we go. We are now at 0 temperature, which means we have gotten rid of everything. Though this still says we have a little bit of pressure. Of course, that is in this pipe. Anyways, let's continue. We now have the reading right here. So, and then we want to compare it to the math unit. So we want to set this to a specific number. Let's do 8000 to test it out. Right there, 8000 logic memory unit. That is maybe not the best name. Let's change that. Memory 8K. Reader pipe analyzer. And this is the writer volume pump. And here we have a compare analyzer. Oh, I just realized we need a compare unit and not a math unit. Good. We want to compare our reader pipe analyzer. Let's try to find that right here, actually, against our memory 8K. And what we want to do is if the pipe analyzer has a reading lower than 8K, which should be the case. Yeah, you can see state 1, which means we should enable the volume pump. No, the gas mixer right there. There we go. Compare analyzer as our input. The output is going to be the gas mixer, which I didn't name either. So you're gonna be furnace gas mixer. Furnace gas mixer right there. And what we want to do is turn it on, I guess. So let's test that, but first of all, I'm gonna make a save game. So we're gonna turn this on, which means the gas mixer is gonna turn on, which means we're pumping in tons of good stuff. And as soon as we reach the critical point of 8K, which we might actually not see happening because I don't have enough nitrogen. But as soon as it hits 8K, it should stop, and we should have the 8K right here in reserve, which should allow us to actually use the furnace. Now before we do anything else, let's shut down the valve, and we're also going to disable the volume pump here. Okay, there we go. We have 0 nitrogen at this point. Also the oxygen, well, the oxygen hasn't gone down very dramatically. But this is not going to shut off until we have the 8K pressure. Good, that means I'm going to pack up for yet another mining trip. Let's freaking do this. I'm going to be right back, guys. Waka 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 waka. Alright guys, we got this. Time to fill up the furnace with plenty of oxides here. Actually, I need to enable the valve right there and the volume pump to make it faster. I'm not sure about the volume pump. Maybe that is redundant. Maybe you can let me know. But what I want to see is the pressure of the pipe analyzer to go up to 8000 and then see what happens. There we go. And the gas mixer turned off. So this is working perfectly. At the moment, I still have 150 iron and 50 grams of coal in here in order to make the steel, so we can already do a little test, I guess. I just want the pressure to go down all the way to 0 first, so we have a clean slate. So it's taking forever to get rid of the temperature. Right there, it actually happened just right then. But it's taking forever, and I wonder if that is really necessary to wait all the way. But right now we have a clean thing going on, 150 iron versus 50 coal. I want to get the pressure up to about 25 kilopascals. So let's enable this. This is set to 1 liter of volume. So I'm just going to enable it briefly and disable it to see what happens here. 13 kilopascals. So let's do that one more time. 25 exactly. So let's hit the activate button and nothing happens. So maybe that is not enough pressure. Let's attempt to get it up to 50. 56 at the moment. Activate the furnace. Still nothing. Okay, you know what, guys? I'm actually gonna read up a little bit more on the internet about this topic, and then I'm gonna be right back. Alright guys, I actually figured out what I did wrong. Of course, we don't need nitrogen. What we need is the volatiles right there, the H2. You can see I already corrected that by bringing it over here. I drained the entire system so that we didn't waste any of the gases. So no harm, no foul. I don't think that's how the saying goes. Anyways, we are ready to test this one more time. One more thing we could do is set up a console in order to see the pressure so that we can actually more conveniently check it out. But I have currently 3 grams of iron and 1 gram of hydrocarbon in there. So we should be getting 1 steel ingot, hopefully. And the way we want to do this is closing the valve right there. And we want to enable this for just a bit so that we can go up to 25 kilopascals. 25 right there. So if I hit the activate button right now, you can see that we actually get a product out of this. The steel ingot. We got 4 pieces of it now. The rest we want to drain in order to, capture these gases one more time. And that's basically the procedure. Now we just have to enable this for a different amount of time in order to do the other ingots. So let's also do the testing with the other ingots. I'm actually gonna need to grab a couple of these. Yeah, let's just open up the fabricator here so that I get all of my ingots. And what we want to test out first of all is the Electrum, for which we need gold and silver. So let's grab the gold right there. I want to split 1. I can't do that. We need to use the stacker for this. That is a little bit annoying. I think I'm gonna set this machine up right here for the time being. This is probably not gonna be in the way, but we still need to connect it. Let's make stack sizes of about 20 or so. That should hopefully do the trick. There we go. And we also want to do the same thing with the gold. So we could make 2 portions right now, but I don't want to be too wasteful with the gold, to be honest with you. So I'm just gonna do 1 right there, and the rest we're gonna input into the fabricator. Alright, I got my silver right there. We're gonna input 20 pieces and 20 pieces of gold. Now let me see, we are smelting that up, but it didn't produce any gases. Okay. Okay, for the Electrum we need about 100 kilopascals of initial pressure, so I'm gonna try to accomplish that. Yeah, there we go. Pressure is going up and we want to stop at around 100. So right now would probably be a good time. A little bit more. There we go. 93. Yeah, we definitely need a console to make this easier. So activate and we get Electrum. Oh my gosh, the system is working, guys! Oh man, I'm so freaking glad this is actually turning out nicely here. So we're gonna pump the stuff back into our system. Don't want to be wasteful. Let's do 1 more. We also have Ingvar, for instance, or Constantin. Let's do Ingvar. I think Ingvar requires the highest amount of pressure, right? For Ingvar, we need iron and nickel, so we can easily do that. Nickel, we have 46 here. Let me see. Is this really all we have? Oh no, there we go. We have another 500 right there. So it would be great to get a stack of around 50. We first need to clear the gold right there. Okay, so now that we have that, we can let the rest out. So we have a stack of 50. All right, there we go. The furnace is more or less empty. I'm gonna close this off. I think that is good enough. And then we're gonna input our ingots. Some nickel and iron. And there we go, we can see it is smelting up. If you use the ingot, it seems as though you don't produce any more gases, so that's interesting. But now that we have that, let's pump it up. We want to get this to around 300 kilopascals, as I said. It does take a couple of seconds, but it's actually a pretty fast system with the volume pump. There we go, 297. I'm just gonna do a little bit more. There we go. No, that was nothing. Didn't help. There we go, 303. Perfect. Let's hit the activate button and we just wait a little bit. Come on, you can do it. Iron and nickel. Okay, that doesn't look good, guys. It looks as though this time it didn't quite work out. Let's wait for the temperature to drop down a little bit. Okay, I think that actually really didn't work, so I might have to fiddle around with the initial kilopascals I put in there. But another good thing about the system is I can simply drain what we already have in there, I guess, and then I can initiate it once again. But there's one more thing I want to test out, and that is copper and nickel. I think the nickel I already put back into the fabricator. There we go. We want stacks of 50 once again. So we're just gonna do that and then release it, do a stack of 50 of those and release the rest. Oh, we only got 49 copper. That is bad. Can I make a stack of 49 maybe? Okay, that's 49 copper, 49 nickel. Let's actually get rid of what we already have in here. Don't go too far. Just hold on. There we go. Copper, nickel goes in here. We are smelting it up. Perfect. Give me those reagents. Okay, Constantin, we probably want around 50 kilopascals. I'm not sure, but we have 49 copper and nickel in there. Let's go ahead and do about 50 kilopascals. So right there, that's probably already enough. Yeah. And that means we can hit it right there and we get the Constantin. Okay, so I'm successful like 75% of the time as of this point. That's pretty good. I just need to figure out what I did wrong with the Ingvar, for instance. Nice, I like it. I like it a lot. And let's actually get some raw ore from this. And last but not least, we want to get rid of the gases and everyone is happy. So what we can do now is fix everything up because it is more or less working the way I wanted it to. We can still add the console very easily. Okay, so I guess the last thing we need to do is replace this volume pump. This is actually not placed very intelligently because it's basically disappearing inside of the wall. The only thing we could consider is to always have the volume pump on. I mean, maybe it doesn't suck too much power. But there we go. The room is completed. The only beauty mistake I think is this part right here. I want this to be a window instead, so we can actually observe what's happening. There we go, something like that. We can still see whether or not the gas mixer is on. If the gas mixer is on, that means we don't have enough stuff anymore. And I can also see whether or not I have this switched on. So that's more or less everything I wanted to see for this episode. I'm pretty happy. Well, with that out of the way, let's wrap it up for today. I hope you enjoyed it, have a great time, and see you soon. Bye bye.